Hello everybody, welcome back to another video. Today in this video, I will be talking about the Leafs game where the Leafs won 5-3 over the Montreal Canadiens. And that increases their record to 14-3-2, which is still good for first in the NHL, which all you Leafs haters will be like, oh, it's because he played more games, Yeah, sure, but as of Saturday, February 20th at 11:08 p.m., the time I'm recording this intro, the Leafs aren't first in the NHL. They have been for a while now. Please let me have this. And also, I think the Canadiens are a bunch of posers. Posers, man. Because they were just playing the Vancouver Canucks over and over and over again. Then they switched to playing, I think it was the Oilers, who weren't having a hot start, and then they won against them because they're playing the Oilers. And now that they've actually started to play the hard teams in the schedule, they are now 9-5-2, which brings them to a pretty close record with being 500 if you put in their overtime losses or their regulation losses, which would make them 9-7 compared to the Leafs 4-15. And I know you're gonna say, oh, the Leafs have played more games. The Leafs have played more games. But even, let's say the Canadiens catch up the Leafs in games played with, and they win every game. They get every single point possible. They would still have one more regulation loss more than the Leafs. So that their best record that it could be would be 13-5-2. By no means am I saying that's a bad record, but I'm just saying the Leafs are better no matter which way you put it. Now I will be getting into the game like I usually do. So let's just start. Early on in the game, it was all Leafs. Price had to bail out the Canadiens a few times. And while we're on the topic of Price, I want to talk about him a bit. His contract is getting worse and worse and worse by the day. He's getting paid McDavid and Matthews money to have a below 900 save percentage. And by no means am I saying Price is a bad goalie. Well, I mean, I am, but I'm not. Price's career has been insane. One of the best goalies of all time. Definitely the best goalie of our generation. But I think this is the inevitable end of Carey Price. The reason why I think this is because he has an .899 save percentage right now, unless we won up this game. And he's putting up either below or league average numbers and shit contracts. So I think the end of Carey Price's legendary status and he'll just be mediocre with a bad contract is now officially upon. Now back onto the game with 8 minutes and 5 seconds left in the first. Hole with a horrible giveaway. Hole didn't really have that good of a game. Tatar gets that, goes up the ice on a breakaway. Freddie Anderson makes an insane saves. Made an insane save to keep the Leafs in it, and it still be 0. Especially in this first period, the Leafs gave a lot of bad turnovers to the Canadiens and just gave them chance after chance after chance. But Freddie made a lot of nice saves to bail out the boys. In the final minutes of the period, Ilya Mikheyev dekes out Carey Price, and let me tell you, I thought this was for sure in, but Price makes a nice glove save to keep it 0-0. The Leafs continue the pressure until the end of the first, and at this time the Leafs just got on a 2-man advantage. So let's get into the second. I just want to talk about a lot happened in the second. This is what took me a long ass time to write. So I'm just going to start getting into it. So late into the 2-man advantage, I'm talking final 15 seconds, no, not even, final 5 seconds. Riley passes it to Marner. Marner sees Matthews wide open with a one-timer. He just has to get it across the hash marks. Passes it. Matthews slaps it home. 1-0 Leafs with 1 second left on the man advantage. So that means that the Leafs still get the power play, which was great. Face off. Canadiens win it. Shea Weber shoots it down the ice, and it hits, I think, off of I want to say TJ Brody. And TJ Brody gives the pass up to a Leaf. I'm not for sure who it was, but then it turns into a Thornton and Boyd 2-on-1, which quickly turns into a 2-on-0. Thornton passes it to Boyd. Boyd just on the other side of the net. All he has to do is tap the puck in. He does that. Travis Boyd scores. 2-0 Leafs. Have the pressure on the Habs. Edmondson then blocks a shot. Tatar gets it. Gives a breakout pass to Kotkaniemi. I like to call him Cock because haha, funny penis joke. But Kotkaniemi on the breakaway puts it over Frederik Andersen. 2-1 Habs. Then on the next rush, I'm pretty sure, Travis Boyd with a horrible giveaway. Then Paul Byron comes up on the break. Hull can't get the puck off of him. Then goes through the Leafs defense and scores not even half of a minute after Kotkaniemi's goal. It is now 2-2. But that is until the 12:29 mark remaining in the second period. Matthews dekes out a defenseman, but loses the puck and passes the puck to Marner, or one or the other. Then Marner gets it. He just takes a beautiful shot, goes in, like right over the pad. It was a nice shot, man. 3-2. Then for like 5 minutes remaining in the second, Riley finds Matthews, and it's funny because after that overtime game against Ottawa, whenever Riley sees Matthews open, he always gives it to him. It's funny. So Matthews takes a slap shot from the point, goes past Carey Price on the power play. It is now 4-2 for your Toronto Maple Leafs, and I was like, wow, what a nice goal by Austin Matthews. It seems like Matthews just gets better game by game. He uses his shot gets harder. He just gets better every single game, and it was Matthews' 300th game tonight, and also Hull's 100th. 20 seconds after that, Hyman blocks a shot, gets hurt, but he did come back in the game. Scramble in front of the net, Canadian score. Immediately, I'm like, this goal shouldn't count. Because I saw Bogosian, because Hyman was down on the ground, hurt. Bogosian touches the puck, so it should be, what's it called, mercy call. But it didn't happen. And then they're in front of the net, and Canadian score. So it's 4-3, and then instantly the play goes under review. It's kind of like what happened to Thornton with his first disallowed goal last game. Kotkaniemi hit Frederik Andersen's pad into the net, which hit the puck into the net. So right there, I thought that's no goal. He did the same thing that Thornton did, but they call it a goal. And then Sheldon Keefe challenges it for goalie interference, and then the goal gets disallowed. I was so confused because I'm like, so why was the goal good for like 2 seconds ago, and then now that the Leafs challenged it for goalie interference, it's disallowed? Personally, I think it was the right call because that goal, the exact same thing happened to Joe Thornton last game and it didn't count. But as if you guys are a Canadiens fan, I could understand you being upset over that call. For about the first 15 minutes of the third period, nothing happens. And then Spezza dekes out Shea Weber, finds Kerfoot wide open just like the Boyd goal. All he has to do, tap it in. What does he do? Tap it in. 5-2 Leafs. I thought the game was over. I'm like, okay, we won this. GG's. It's done with 1 minute and 27 seconds left in the game. The Foley got like wide open in front of the Leafs net. Hull should have been on him. It was not Hull's night tonight. So Toffoli has a wide open look on the net. He gets either a saucer, like a really high saucer pass from Romanov, or Romanov just shot it and Toffoli gloved it down. Fair play. Gets it on his stick and shoots it past Frederik Andersen to make it 5-3 Canadians with a minute 27 left in the game. So here's a tweet I wanted to read out to you guys, right? The Habs rule over the Toronto Maple Leafs. Leafs fans, you want to be a Habs fan. You will never have the history and championships and glory and history in hockey like the Montreal Canadiens. You want... this guy's grammar's graph, so it's... Your wannabe Leafs will never be the Montreal Canadiens. Never. Go Habs, go. Historically, the Habs have been better than the Leafs. The Habs historically been the best team in hockey. But seriously, bro, over one goddamn game. Like, okay, imagine this. After that Senators game, I say, oh, you Sens fans, you guys wished you were Leafs fans because the Leafs have had a better history than the Senators have. Like, okay, sure, whatever. I guess it's butthurt because the Canadians lost, but whatever. For players that I thought had a good game. Kotkaniemi definitely did. He had 1 goal and 1 goal disallowed. Austin Matthews had 2 goals and 2 assists. Marner had a goal and a few assists. Thornton and Boyd. Most of the defensive core, except for Justin Holl. The Leafs played really good tonight, except for Justin Holl. I know I was picking on Justin Holl in the last clip. So it's players that I thought had a bad game. Obviously, Justin Holl is one of them. He did not play well tonight. He was not the Justin Holl that we were used to seeing this season or even last season. This was by far his worst game of the season, and it sucks because it's his 100th game in the National Hockey League. It just wasn't his night. He had bad turnovers. The 2 goals for the Canadians on the 2 rampant succession ones, both in my opinion were his fault. He did not play well defensively, did not play well offensively. Just was not his night. For my predictions. Tomorrow you have the Canadians and the Senators going at it. I'm going to say 3-1 for the Canadians. I feel like they follow up a good performance tonight, if I'm being honest. They played well. Both teams played well. I think Drouin will get 2 because he hasn't been scoring at all this season. And Toffoli will get 1. And the 1 from the Senators will come from Tim Stützle, the best goal scorer on the Senators. Next up, you got the Jets and the Canucks. I think the Canucks are going to take this one. I'm going to say 1-0. Off of a Brock Besser goal. Next up, we got the Flames and the Leafs. I'm going to say the Leafs take this one, obviously, because I'm a Leafs fan. Obviously, they're going to win. 4-0 over the Flames. I'm going to say Matthews finally gets a hat trick. He's had multiple goal games in a row. And I will say Ilya Mikheyev gets one as well. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. Press like if you liked it. Press subscribe if you really liked it. Share with all your friends. The Leafs still are first in the NHL, and it's looking like they'll hit 15 wins before they hit 5 regulation losses. Habs are overrated.